Hello everyone, and welcome to another jersey concept ranking video. Again, like I said in the last one, this is basically all you guys request. You love them, I love them, so let's do some more. Now before we get into this one, I have an announcement to make. If you did not see the video from earlier today, I announced a contest and I announced a coupon code. So the contest is about creating jerseys just like you'll see in this video. And I won't give any more details on that. I kind of want you to go watch that contest video. And at the end of that contest video, I gave you guys a little bit of a hint of a coupon code for Sports Templates. So if you don't know, Sports Templates is it is the place where I would say 80 to 90% of these designers create these concepts. You go onto the site, you buy the template. There's all kinds of templates to buy, but if you want to try your hand into creating some jerseys in Photoshop and you want to buy that template, you can get 10% off if you go to their website by using code POST2POST. And if you have watched or if you haven't watched the contest announcement video from earlier, you would know that I am partnering with Sports Templates for that contest. They're actually going to judge one of the jerseys and give away a free template. So if you want to know more on that, go check out the contest video. But let's get into these jersey concepts in this video. These were done by Enzo. And guys, I'm telling you right now, there are some bangers in here. There are some amazing jersey designs. When I first saw them all, I instantly knew my number one. I really liked it, and I think it might surprise you guys a little bit. But anyways, let's jump into this. I ranked them 1 to 31. We're going to go through them in reverse order, 31 to 1, like I always do. I know that annoys people, but I don't care. Let's do it. At number 31, or in 31st position, I put the Vegas Golden Knights. This might actually be the first time that I've ranked the Vegas Golden Knights last in anything. But in this jersey here, I think I don't really have a problem with the primary color being that gold or that specific color that they use. I think I really just have two issues here. The arms seem a different shade than the middle of the jersey, and then the neck is a different shade. That's almost like a brown or something when I see it next to the gold. So I feel a bit conflicted about those two together, and that is a very minor gripe. But my biggest gripe here is the things on the arms. I don't know what it's like where you live. Maybe it's different. Like I live in Atlantic Canada, in Fredericton, New Brunswick specifically, and I've lived in PEI. So I've been to a couple concerts and events and stuff. And at least here in Atlantic Canada, I see a common trend of people who are selling beer and selling merchandise and all this stuff. They kind of have that ribbon on their arm. Not in every concert or whatever, but it's a very common thing to me. Is you see like a worker with a ribbon on their arm. That's how you know that they work for the event or the concert holders or whatever. So when I see this, I get reminded of that. Like this isn't a hockey player; it's someone selling something. So I think that's a really specific critique for me. I don't know if that's a widespread thing or if it's just an Atlantic Canada thing. But anyways, number 30, I put the Minnesota Wild. Really, it's not a bad jersey. I think I get a little distracted by the stripes on the inside completely stopping. I think this works on some jerseys and sometimes it doesn't. I just don't feel like it kind of works here. I also find that the M along the bottom of the stripe is a bit distracting. It's not as big as the primary logo in the middle, which is great, but I think because of the stripes and because of the M, it's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit distracting. Also the way that those stripes are laid out, it kind of looks like a road or a highway because it's split in the middle. But I mean, realistically, it's not a bad jersey for being ranked 30. So there's some good stuff coming. In 29th position, I put the St. Louis Blues. So the stripes in the background, that makes sense. I totally get that. The small little stripes on the elbows. Do you ever see people who wear like a polo shirt or a t-shirt, but then they wear a long sleeve shirt underneath that? And it goes out. I'm not sure if that's in style now or not. I don't do that. If it's cool, I'm not cool, so sorry. But I get vibes of this. Like, it's a t-shirt, but then someone's wearing a long sleeve shirt underneath. And I think it's just how thin the stripes are near the elbow. I like the classic collar. It's not one of the typical collars like this. It's more of like a winter classic, almost like cotton style that goes along the neck there. So I do like that. I think the stripes, I understand the stripes, but I think they are just a little bit distracting in the background, not the bathroom. That's weird. Number 28, up with the Dallas Stars. This looks like a very typical generic Dallas Stars jersey. Not really anything wrong here at all. I really have no specific criticism. I don't mind the font on the stripes. I do find it maybe a bit distracting, but I would just consider this a generic jersey. Not a bad thing, not a good thing. Number 27, the Boston Bruins. So I kind of feel like there are elements of this that would 100% work. I really like the shoulders. I absolutely love the shoulders. I like the stripes on the arms even, but I don't know if I'd like to see this as or in yellow or gold as the primary color. I think I'd like to see this jersey exactly like it is, but instead of the yellow in around here being the primary color, maybe a black. I know that would make it very similar to the current jersey, but I don't know if it's the black line here maybe that's throwing me off. It almost seems like unnecessary separation or something. I can't really explain it, but this is a really subtle change that I think might change this jersey for me specifically. Number 26, the Nashville Predators. So I really like Nashville Predators concepts that use a blue or a gray or something like that as a primary color versus the gold. I'm just generally not a fan of their gold, of them switching to gold as their primary color or yellow or whatever color you want to call that. I don't care. Mustard. So that's really my main criticism here and why it's ranked so low. If you are going to submit a Nashville Predators jersey to me to rank, and it is yellow, chances are it's probably going to be pretty far down on my list. I don't mind the text on the stripe. I do find it, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is a bit distracting to me. Number 25, the Colorado Avalanche. Boom, this might come as a shocker to a lot of you guys, because usually I have the Colorado Avalanche pretty high on my list. But here, I felt like the stripes that skip on the arms didn't really, I don't know, I felt like it felt out of place a bit or something. I love that the arms are split though, as I'm like white on the shoulders, coming down on the sides, and then blue on the inside here, and then the inside of the arms. I really like that. I think that's phenomenal. I just feel like those stripes on the arms don't fit. I'm fine with the logo chosen here. I'm actually fine with the shoulders being completely blank with no shoulder patches on it. Usually I would always prefer the shoulder patches on there, but I'm totally fine with it being clean and blank there. And the little subtle gray stripe at the bottom of the jersey, I actually quite like that. Number 24, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So this is basically their jersey that they use now, but with this very subtle blue gradient coming from the bottom and working its way up into white. Usually I'd say gradients are a bit of no-no, and I think here I might have that criticism a little bit. I wouldn't consider it ugly. I wouldn't consider it bad. It's just not my taste. There's going to be a gradient jersey coming up in this video that I prefer quite a bit more, so you guys can check that out here in a couple of minutes. But for this one, it's not bad. It's just too similar to the current jersey, and the gradient's a bit of a miss. Number 23, the Arizona Coyotes. So this kind of blends in a bit of their current jersey, a bit of their Kachina jersey, which I heard today that they're going to wear in all games, by the way, all home games for the upcoming 2014 playoffs. So that's pretty cool. Nice to see them use that as a primary jersey, even if it is for one round. But you see, different elements of different Coyotes jersey history in here, which I do like. I like the striping along the bottom. I like the shoulder patches. Really, nothing bad to say here. It's cool to see a black version of a Coyotes concept jersey. Number 22, the Buffalo Sabres. This is very much in line with what I think a typical Buffalo Sabres jersey should look like. I really have no issue with any of the design. I like the striping, which is very similar to what they use now. The thing on the shoulders, that little insert of yellow, I'm fine with that. I would prefer this jersey, but with that goat head logo. And people commented a lot, because I ranked a very similar jersey high in my previous video, and they're like, that's not a goat, right? Yeah, I know. I know. It's just commonly referred to as the goat head, okay, logo. I know it's not a goat. It's Buffalo. I get it. Anyway, I prefer that logo over this current one. So if I just swap those, this goes up my list. Number 21, the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is definitely one of the most different Toronto Maple Leafs concepts that I've seen. I like the subtle little change of color of striping here. So it's a bit of a lighter blue on the darker blue of the jersey. I like that. I like the font too, chosen for the C and the numbers. There's just something a little bit different to spice it up. I really, really, really like the bottom of the jersey on the front where again you get that subtle lighter blue stripe, and then below that in the white you get a version of the Toronto logo, which feels very original six. So I think this is a jersey that would probably satisfy a lot of Maple Leafs fans. It's not like too crazy or egregious or in your face or anything like that. It still has hints of being classic and nostalgic and original, and so I think this jersey plays it safe in a good way. Sometimes you can play it safe in a bad way. I think it plays it safe in a good way here. Number 20, the LA Kings. So you have their current logo, which I'm not specifically a fan of, but something really cool in this jersey is that they've used Enzo's used the early 90s, late 80s LA Kings logo on the arm. I love that. I think that's really cool. I don't think I've seen that in a jersey concept before. So big thumbs up for that. Really, for me, this comes down to the current logo. I'm just not specifically a fan of it. And again, there's no color here. If I'm going to see an LA Kings concept, I really want to see a bold one. Them going back to some of the original colors, the purple, the yellow, or the gold. I think they need some spice back on their life. Number 19, the Islanders. So I kind of went back and forth with this one a little bit, and I struggled to make up my mind. At first, I didn't really like the neck, the way that it was separated in color. But then I thought, well, that's pretty unique, and that's just a little bit different. It's a little bit eye-catching in a good way. So I like that. I don't mind the notches or the stripes the notches in the stripes. I assume that signifies the Stanley Cups that they've won, which is pretty cool. I don't like the NY logo down on the stripe there. I'm just not generally a fan of that logo at all. So I would probably just maybe like remove that and put the notches in the middle. But this is the whitest Islanders jersey I think I've ever seen. Usually, there's more color in here or something, but this feels very empty, I guess. And I don't mean that in a negative way, in a good way. It feels very empty. So yeah, I like it. Number 18, the Edmonton Oilers. So the current Edmonton Oilers jersey that they use now, I was going to reach it, but it's out of my reach. It's not bad. I prefer the Reebok version of that orange jersey. The blue version that they use, I'm a big fan of that. I see hints of both of those jerseys in here a little bit. Actually, their fourth jersey, the darker blue one that's just orange and just navy, it doesn't have any white in it at all, I don't believe. That's the jersey that I was talking about, sorry. And their orange one. So I see kind of a mix mash of those together, and I think it works. I might remove those white stripes or one of the stripes along on the bottom of the arms, but I like the solid kind of Edmonton Oilers jersey of just all kind of one color. And there's so much striping now on Edmonton Oilers jerseys, so I like this one. Number 17, the Detroit Red Wings, and again, this is kind of one of those ones where I had to just like to kind of sit back and decide how I felt about this, because the Detroit Red Wings have one of the best home jerseys and away jerseys. Like combined, some teams have really poor home jerseys and really good away jerseys. I think the Detroit Red Wings have a really good collection of jerseys, home and away. I think they're both really strong. So to see something so drastically different here, to see it on black instead of red, it's risky. It is risky, but it's not playing it safe. And I mean that in a good way again. I think this does work. I think this would be a really good alternate jersey. But it's losing me a little bit with that striping in the arms. Now, Detroit is Motor City. I see some checkered flags in there. Maybe there's some relation there. I don't know the reasoning behind this, but that's kind of the fun of this. Sometimes people send me concepts and they give me reasons behind every jersey. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I prefer to look at a jersey like a regular fan, not knowing anything, maybe from another team or whatever team, it doesn't matter. Seeing it for the first time and trying to figure that out in my head. If there is subtlety in a jersey, it shouldn't be, Da Vinci Code level hard to try and figure it out. It should be subtle enough where you figure it out in a couple seconds, or you look at it and you really think about it. So I think this is the right amount of subtle in here, and I hope that's the relation that Enzo was going for. Otherwise, I probably just look like an idiot. But anyways, that's what I see. Let's move on. Number 16, the The Rangers. I went back and forth on this jersey so much. It was in my top 10 for a little bit just because it was so different. But then I kind of moved it down a little bit, and I thought, man, no, that's too far down. Let's put it right in the middle. So I intentionally basically put it in the middle because I really couldn't decide. I love how clean it is, but at the same time, I think a police car, and maybe that's the intention here, but to me, just the fact that it's split looks like, police lights. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know if it works. So I'm still a little bit undecided on this jersey. Number 15, the Anaheim Ducks. So this, kind of like the Rangers jersey, is split. So we have green on one side and purple on the other. It's different. It's not really different in a bad way or a good way for me. It's just different. I'm having a hard time getting used to it. A better time than the Rangers jersey, but still, I don't know. It's just different. I like the font though that he chose. Number 14, the New Jersey Devils. So this is kind of going back to the original colors a little bit. It's quite Christmassy, but not as Christmassy as that Minnesota Wild jersey that I don't like. So I do like the brighter green that's used here. So I specifically like the green stroke around the actual primary logo in the middle. So yeah, this one grew on me and is still growing. Number 13, the Ottawa Senators. I think that a lot of people, including myself, think that the Ottawa Senators need a new jersey. So I'm always really excited whenever these jersey concepts come in. I always specifically look for the Ottawa one pretty much right away because I'm excited to see that one. And I think this was a pretty good job. This kind of melds a bunch of their jerseys together. I absolutely love the arms, this, taking that classic logo, the O logo that they use on one of their jerseys, their alternate jerseys, and just slapping it down on the arm. So you've got different elements of jerseys here from their history. The neck, the yellow doesn't match the gold in the logo. So as far as consistency, I might change the color to match the gold in the logo. But that's, I'm being really critical here. Number 12, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I really like Penguins concepts to be in black and anything but gold or yellow. I really like, if you're going to do gold, I want to see that old logo, that early 90s or mid 90s logo. But this one, it's on black. It's got maybe some shading, maybe almost like a gradient. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me here, but I feel like there's maybe a gradient in the arm a little bit. But I really like it. I think it's very simple in a good way. It's eye-catching because when you have a really bold, in-your-face jersey, like look at all the colors and stuff on this jersey. But when you have a primarily black or monochrome jersey, and then you just have that kick of the one color, and in this case it's the gold or the yellow, and on the stripe and on the logo, I think that's more eye-catching than just having an over-the-top jersey. So I like the subtle usage of color here. Number 11, the Carolina Hurricanes. This was another one that I kind of went back and forth on because I'm a really big fan of the black Carolina Hurricanes jersey, one that uses the secondary logo. And I see subtle, tiny little hints of that in here. Obviously, it's red, so it's not the same color, but it looks like we have a gradient, and I'm okay with the gradient. It's very subtle. You can see some very, some very subtle patterns on the actual stripes, which is great. I think the pattern along the bottom of the jersey in that stripe is a little bit too red, or it's a little bit too punchy. I might desaturate that down a little bit, or make it a little bit more see-through or transparent. So but overall, I mean, that's a pretty sharp jersey. Like, I'm trying to think of things that I would change about it other than that, but I mean, I really like it. I got nothing else to say. I like it. Number 10, the Washington Capitals. This one, again, I struggle with a lot of these because I kind of went back and forth, and I thought, well, there's a gradient in here, and it almost is reversed. Like the bottom of the arms is red, and then it goes to blue, but then it stops sharply at where it goes back to red, and it kind of does the reverse of that on the shoulders. And I thought, is that too different? I don't know. I'm still kind of thinking about this one a little bit. I love the arms, like it almost feels like the number bleeds into the stripes, or starts the stripes. I like that. I like the stripe along the bottom. I like that logo up there on the shoulder. And I don't know. The gradient's not too bad, but I don't know. One of the ones I might change my mind on a bunch. Number 9, the Calgary Flames. I thought this was really, really good for just a couple of subtle reasons. Number 1, went with basically a jersey from Calgary that we've never seen before as far as color relation or color usage. Obviously, they used those colors in the past, but in this way. So, and it's just the subtle things in this jersey that really make it stand out. So, on the laces on the jersey, they're black, but the rings, the metal rings around each lace, or where the laces go through, is red, which is just a little highlight that I think really makes this jersey pop. And you don't see it right away, but when you see it, I think it's pretty sharp. So that matches the red on the collar, it matches the red in the stripes, and it also matches the other subtle little bit in the logo. So same logo, but just changing some of the moving or releasing flames from the logo, changing two of them to red. Just a little change, but I think it's pretty cool. I think this is a sharp jersey. Number 8, the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, I really like Chicago Blackhawks jerseys that use like a black as their primary color, but as far as a red one, this one's quite nice. I don't think people will agree with me, though. I think people might have this quite low because of the change of color of the stripes. And although that does match their color scheme and it matches the logo, I think it might be a little bit too bold for them. But I like it. It's different enough where I don't know. It's one of those jerseys that maybe not would look good on the ice, but as a jersey collector, this is definitely one I would love to have. So, battle going on. Number 7, the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I've been ranking Columbus Blue Jackets jerseys pretty high recently. And, you know, when I originally ranked the Adidas jerseys, 3 years ago now, I think they were pretty low on my list. And in general, I do like the Columbus Blue Jackets jersey, but I would consider it average. I'm a big fan of the pinstripes, but I would say just basically an average jersey. But I think seeing these new concepts come out for Columbus, I'm like, man, there's a lot of potential here. There's a cannon. You got all kinds of stuff to work with. The shade of blues that they use is phenomenal. You got a bit of a gray in there, or silver, so and creams as well. So I think that Columbus set themselves up color palette-wise, for some really awesome concepts. And I think this is a really good example. It's very clean. It's very simple. You're using the third logo that they use now, which is awesome. I really like the subtle text along the bottom stripe. And you notice how see the stripes on the arms, how they just change? Just something subtle like that. I think I've said subtle a ton in this video. I apologize. The Vancouver Canucks, I went back and forth on this one as well, but I ended up really liking that. I thought, you know what, this is cool because you're taking different elements from the Vancouver Canucks jersey history and kind of melding them together. So we have the current logo, but Enzo's put back in the Vancouver. So if you're familiar with, if you're up to date on your jersey history and stuff, Vancouver actually removed the word Vancouver from their jerseys this year. They've just gone with the Orca. So I would personally remove that Vancouver and just go with the Orca, but the Vancouver font itself looks really good with that red outline. I think the rest of the jersey being because that's my favorite jersey, the red and the yellow one with the skate in the middle. I think those elements in this jersey, color-wise, really make this jersey successful for me. Again, just remove the Vancouver, otherwise pretty sharp jersey. Number 5, the San Jose Sharks. San Jose has definitely one of the whitest white jerseys out there, and I think this gets even more white with this one. Just little tiny pinstripes along the arms and the bottom, which is I'm fine with. I like that, and I just like the little colorization here on the shoulders. This is just a very clean jersey. Number 4, the Philadelphia Flyers. So this reminds me of kind of like the Eric Lindros era of Flyers jerseys, and to me, like that is what Flyers is. I remember like all the highlights and when I was growing up, this is what the Flyers used for a jersey. So to me, this is a Flyers jersey. I love the black as the primary color. Actually, it's not even black. It's more like a graphite or an off gray or whatever, or a dark gray, sorry, charcoal. I like the striping that comes down on the arms and kind of swoops in to create the stripe in the bottom. I think this is just a really, really nice jersey. Number 3, the Montreal Canadiens, a very rare sight when I rank my own team in the top 3. It does not happen very often. However, I think this is an excellent design of a white Montreal Canadiens jersey. You see some, like we'll use Columbus again, for example, the pinstripes that start here and kind of come down the arm or come down the chest area. But instead, Enzo's taken the stripes and just kind of looped them back this way along the collar. And I think that just a little change made a big difference. It looks a little bit like the jersey's wearing a medal, But I'm okay with that. That's just a super critical standpoint. Now the stripe in the middle behind the main logo got a little bit smaller. I do like that. I like the ends of the arms. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this jersey. It's changed enough where I don't think it will offend any Montreal Canadiens fans, and that's definitely important when you're toying with an original 16. Number 2, the Florida Panthers. So this is the gradient that I was talking about. Now this is the most in-your-face, egregious, like possibly over-the-top gradient I've maybe ever seen in a jersey concept. But when you think about a gradient, what things have a gradient in real life? And the first thing that I can think about is the sky, and specifically sunsets. And where do sunsets happen all the time and are amazing? Florida. This is Florida. This is the state of Florida in here. That fiery, burning orange and red sunset. It's represented in this jersey here, and I'm okay with that. That's exactly what I think about when I think of Florida. The heat, and this is bringing the heat. This is a banger. I love the secondary logo, which you usually see on the shoulders. It's blown up a little bit and put here. It's bigger. Actually, Florida does use the numbers on the shoulder. There was the old jerseys where they use the patch up here. But anyways, I love the fact that they're blown up a little bit bigger and put it here, and the numbers on the shoulders. That looks awesome. I have a feeling that people are really going to disagree with me for this ranking or this jersey specifically, and that's okay. It is a subjective process. There is no right or wrong. But to me, this is fire. Number 1, the Winnipeg Jets. This might be one of the best white concept jerseys I've ever seen. There's literally not a single thing that I would change about this jersey. I like the text along the bottom 2 stripes. I love the fact that the stripes in behind have 2 strokes, a red one and a blue one, the blue one being the outer one, which comes into the logo. And then the logo itself actually has that gray stroke that goes around it. So it doesn't meld, it gives a bit of separation there. I think if that was a blue stroke instead of the gray stroke, it would kind of bleed into the stripes in the background. But the fact that it's gray, it gives it some separation. And going back to that kind of the original Winnipeg Jets logo in the middle, fantastic. And using the current one or elements of the current one on the arms, I think this is a phenomenal jersey. I absolutely love it. Enzo, you absolutely knocked it out of the park here. Very well done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you can hit the subscribe button down below, because I'm making a ton of these. I think I've made 5 or 6 this month alone of these videos, and you guys just want more, and I've got like 14 more to do. So I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button, because I'm coming out with these probably about once a week, so you're going to see lots of jersey content. And also, if you haven't seen the previous ones, go check them out as well. There's some amazing jersey concepts in those, so I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button, join me here. If you did like this video, please hit the like button. That helps me a lot. Share this video around, and yeah guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Enzo, for submitting them. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Adios.